on to the Summoner's Rift, the final game of the day, the final game of the week as well, as week 3 is rounding up. G2 will want to end it on a win, of course, going into Rift Rivals, where they will face TSM, Team Liquid, and C9, and they will defeat TSM, Team Liquid, and C9. We have to hope.
I like it.
I'm an EU fanboy, and it's been known for a very long time.
And I think your predictions are relatively accurate. My analytical brain might say that EU has 100% chance of winning it at MS or at Rift Rivals.
Yeah, but I've seen your predictions today. You don't always get those sorts of things right. Both teams lining up, battle lines drawn along the river here. Wunder and Jankos will steal away the Spire, but it's not going to be too impactful. The Skarner happy just to get a Spire in his own jungle and then use the extra mana regeneration and movement speed to clear out these first few camps. If he'd been a little bit closer, he would have got that ward. He would have
loved it. He would have loved it, but no such luck in this one. I'm particularly interested in this game to, again, focus on the bottom lane, actually. On G2's side in particular, the Sivir Lux is something we saw in the last game that Excel piloted very well themselves, but it's been a little bit slower to adopt it into the LEC scene, as this has been around for a patch and a half now around the world, but it's a very oppressive 2 versus 2. You expect to be pushing up very hard in the individual matchup, and as long as they can avoid any ganks where the CC of VandeR inspired could really give them trouble, this lane should just win out.
I want to talk a little bit about the runes as well, as we do see lethal tempo on Woolite down towards the bottom lane. Larssen's running lethal tempo in the mid as well, and Prophet running Arcane Comet in the top lane on the Camille.
Yeah, so starting with Woolite down bottom lane, something you see a lot on the Xayah in particular is to start with the Q spell and then go lethal tempo, because you land the Q and then can use the lethal tempo to quickly push the wave. Now, in this matchup, I don't think it's super effective because of the double range advantage of having Mikyx just be able to walk up very freely and trade auto attacks here on this Lux, but it is something you can take home if you want to play some Xayah yourself.
Definitely is. One of the benefits, of course, of having a ranged support into a melee support is how easy it is to stack up that Spell Thief's edge, how easy it is to harass, and you can see Woolite and VandeR giving a bit of respect over to Mikyx and Perkz. Although Mikyx's taking some damage until VandeR's level 2, there's no real kill threat here from the Xayah and the Alistar.
Yeah, but if Inspired continues to path down here, maybe there could be something. Not with a minion wave as large as this, but perhaps on the next one could be a good opening for Inspired, but we expect to see Mikyx and Perkz back away after this wave, maybe drop down a ward, or just keep pushing because they're that confident.
You could just wait for the cannon to go down and then back away. VandeR's going to go in here, only onto Perkz, and he wasn't tanking the tower, so doesn't get too much out of it. You can see how much shielding that Prismatic Barrier gives as it comes back and forth across the AD carry.
Also important to note that Inspired will be going for a reset right now. It's very hard to make anything happen without the Predator, so he goes back to base, he gets his boots as well as the extra jungle item to help out his clear, and now he can perhaps look for a gank, maybe even topside, after he clears away those Krugs.
And let's talk a little bit about this top lane matchup as well, Ender. You said that the Camille hard outscales. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, VandeR's going to find the connection. The Ignite goes down onto Mikyx, holding onto the heel. The flash, but Woolite gets first blood. Perkz is going to try and trade it back with the boomerang. VandeR standing off towards the side, almost has those cooldowns back up, so Perkz has to be safe.
Very nice all in there from the Rogue bottom lane. Now Inspired is top, channeling the Predator, going in for the Gnar.
Wunder looking for the bounce here, trying to get onto Inspire. The fact it doesn't connect, and there's the double bounce. Easy enough escape for the G2 top laner, but forced away from his wave.
I would have liked to see Rogue try to combo their CCs a little bit better, lead with the hook shot, the easier skill shot to land there, but Wunder will be able to get away no problem and avoid a potentially rough situation.
Let's have another look at this. Important to note the difference in support summoners. Ignite on the Alistar, heal on Mikyx.
Also, the Q is blown right off the bat, and then Mikyx still stands forward, so Woolite lands the root, which means very easy combination right there. VandeR also having the Aftershock means he can go forward for those trades and win out overall with Woolite flashing forward to get the last hit.
And of course, Sivir, although she has a lot of wave clear early on, doesn't output the most damage for an AD carry, so quite hard for the for Perkz to trade back into that. However, still a CS lead for Perkz in the bottom lane. 10 farm up, he hasn't had to go back, has teleport to get back into the lane when he needs, and it's not too bad of a situation for G2, although Rogue will be very happy with the first kill.
Especially for Woolite and VandeR, who have not had the steadiest of performances re-entering into the LEC here. You're wondering, you know, what can they do in this 2v2 matchup? You expect Perkz and Mikyx to be able to win, especially given the combination of champions that they have. But we see that with the all-in, with the adaptation to take the Alistar here, they go in.
Woolite caught out. VandeR tries to get onto Perkz, looking for the stun. Jankos on his way. Inspired's coming in as well. VandeR caught out just a little bit. He has to back away, but Jankos now has been spotted by Inspired, can jump in straight onto Woolite. Inspired trying to get around this, but he's just dodging around the top of that jungle, unable to find his avenue into the fight.
Teleport down. Rogue are going for for the kills here. Flash inspired spell shield is good.
Straight in, Perkz uses the spell shield just at the right moment. The counter teleport coming in here from G2, and now Inspired has overstepped. He's done. You have to feel this. Gale will be gifted over to Perkz. It is 2 kills across to G2.
It's teleports all over the place, but G2 come out on top. 700 gold lead after that play, and they continue to shut Woolite down.
And they're going to get an Ocean Drake off the back of it as well. This is so good for Wunder in that top lane, getting poked out by the Camille. Having that Ocean, having that extra regeneration just makes it so much easier for him to lane.
Just easier to stay in lane and continue to press your advantage there with that matchup. We see Woolite gets caught by the binding, as you said, fantastically done. And then he's taken solo. Rogue are thinking maybe we can turn it around because you see Inspired pass down, but he's seen on the Shrine. So Jankos knows where he's at. He knows he backs away and is like, well, that's easy enough. Flash over the wall, get the CC, and the 1 auto for the kill.
I actually don't think Inspired ever spotted
No, he didn't.
Jankos there. Larssen comes in to try and help, but Perkz, you said, the great spell shield to dodge that stun.
Yep, very nicely done. TP comes in from behind. You can see Prophet says, look, there's nothing I can do. Even if I teleport in, you're still going down. So he holds on to his teleport, stays top lane farming up a storm, and maybe they can look for a response play in the future with that spell.
We'll have to wait and see. VandeR has got the Hex Flash on this Alistar, so expect to see him trying to make some plays over walls. You can jump into lack of vision across one of those walls. It makes it very easy for you to find an avenue to gank, but G2, as you say, about 800 gold ahead. You've got the pickaxe, double longsword already completed on Perkz, and this early game looking strong from our champions.
From G2.
G2 are our champions. They won Spring Split, they won MSI. They're
Except
the
for when
world's
Fnatic beat them yesterday.
That is true. They were not the champions then. They're no longer the unofficial world champions, because that goes to Fnatic after they
Excel almost took the belt.
That's true. That was a very close one for Fnatic in the last game. Caps trading onto Larssen in the mid lane. I do want to talk a little bit about the rune choice actually from Larssen in the mid lane. Aletho Tempo and Comet are 2 runes that we see interchangeably on the Azir, but I know each one has its benefits.
Yeah, typically you see Comet when you're looking to dominate the lane and go for a little bit more poke, whereas the Lethal Tempo gives you that extra attack speed, which means very fast autos in the team fights. As now Jankos 3 members towards this bottom lane. They want to fight.
They can just go for the dive. On the hump, pop the heal as well, very early on. This dive was miscoordinated, but they weren't tanking the tower, so it doesn't really matter too much. They get a play out of it. There's the stun lock. They're looking for it on VandeR, but he's tanking it all up. Now Jankos tanking the tower. Gonna go down to the storm. VandeR gets in as well. Perkz not taking tower aggro will keep him alive. That could have been awful for G2.
Yeah, Perkz can't auto attack or else he picks up the aggro because Jankos was already taken down. Big blunder there as Woolite hits level 6 and can use that ultimate to dodge away from the damage coming through.
Wunder goes into Mega here. Will he overstep? How aware is he that Inspired is waiting on the top side? Rogue fighting pretty well in this early game. Inspired there. Wunder gonna get slowed. The Hex tech ultimatum pulls him back with the Gnar. He knocks back Inspired. Flashes away. Looking for the knock up here as Wunder gets into the mini Gnar form and Inspired can't get close enough.
Oh, the Gnar ult away to stop an intentional impale from coming through. Gives Wunder the space to force the flash and get on out of there.
It's a summoner's burnt though once again. Rogue actually fighting pretty strongly in this early game against G2. Although G2 have the lead, we're going to have another look at this dive in the bottom lane.
Yeah, let's watch it one more time, because look at this. Woolite is level 5 at the moment, but I think he gets a minion to die here, so he can tick over to level 6. Right as the ultimate comes out, the tower kills the minion. He hits level 6. Now he can dodge away from this damage, get the last hit. Also, VandeR knocking up Perkz to make sure that there cannot be any retaliation once the frontliner, the member of G2 that was tanking, falls down. Perkz just has to run.
Yeah, you can see the weakness of Sivir into Alistar there as well. The headbutt pulverized combo will still connect even if you spell shield the W, so it's actually quite hard for the Sivir to escape in that lane. Blue buff going to be gifted over to Caps here in the mid lane. Just a bit of extra cooldown reduction there on the Akali always helps.
Definitely does. Now Inspired, he still has his ultimate. He'd love to make a play. I think bot lane for the next 30-40 seconds before Perkz gets his flash back up is a good opportunity, but that window is going to be disappearing, so probably not going to have any luck down there. And once the summoner spells return for G2, they can look to continue to press their advantages down in this bottom lane. Even though they are dying, they still maintain a gold lead because of the massive CS lead that Perkz has built up and their ability to just chip down those turret plates.
Yeah, and we've seen Woolite be forced quite far behind in CS before. I remember the Misfits game where he was 66 CS down at the 15-minute mark. This game already at 30, only 10 minutes in.
And the games look eerily similar, right? Because both junglers, Max Lore in that other game, Jankos in this one, are playing so much around this bottom side. They know they are vulnerable underneath the tower, and Inspired just simply is not playing towards this area of the map. Here we go.
Woolite caught out the final spark. He goes golden, but he's going to fall shortly after. You have to feel one more auto would be enough. The Featherstorm, the flash away. Ooh. He survived the rogue bot lane, doing absolute work. Eventually they fall. Jankos only just survives, and now VandeR caught underneath the tower. Perkz dodging out from turret range. This will be a lockdown. It's a double for G2, and it's a double for Perkz.
VandeR had nowhere to go. Woolite almost escaped, but G2 give them no room to breathe. That should be the tower in the bottom lane, while Inspired, stuck on the opposite side of the map, just says, hey, I guess I take a Rift Herald, but he will not be happy with that.
And this is what we expected from G2 coming into this game. Powerful early game plays, a 3,000 gold lead at the 11-minute mark. That's going to extend even further as Perkz is gifted over this plate gold. He's now sitting at 5,800 gold. He's got 2,000 in the bank. He can get himself an Essence Reaver and start building up towards that Infinity Edge. Now, Inspired trying to do something as Caps comes across. Larssen here as well. It's a 3v2 for the moment. VandeR on his way. Inspired flashes in. Immediate Shroud from Caps. Hexagon made him use up towards the top side as they try and catch out Wunder instead. Caps decides to leave his top laner for dust. He's dead, but the rest of G2 are on the chase. The Rift Herald still aggroed here by Rogue.
G2 starting up the Scuttle Crab at the moment, trying to get some control over this river, but Rogue are not done. Just one more reset and it will go back. Jankos, will he take it?
The patience going down, but the eye is there. The final spark comes out. The resets just in time. Double Smite came out, but G2 won the fight. They're thirsty for blood. They're thirsty for kills, and they're hungry for a little bit of Rogue. The Ignite comes down on Prophet. He's going to tick away. Caps gets him. VandeR caught out as well. G2 are just wiping away Rogue, and they're looking for even more.
More and more kills. Woolite tries to show up, but it is not enough. Jankos has the ultimate. Oh, does he get the slow? Is it enough?
The slow might be enough to chase onto Woolite. Loosen the light binding into the kill. G2 just sweeping through Rogue. There's really nothing that Rogue can do right now. G2 have come thirsty for blood, and they want to take this win.
And all in all, this is what we expect from G2. Come in, smash through the early game, business as usual. The start of this play is just a heartbreaker for Inspired. His ultimate, he starts it, but it gets canceled by losing vision inside of the Shroud. We speed through the kill, that was nice, but ultimately, G2 are just buying time because Umayan is walking through that bottom jungle, getting ready to come for the fight, and Woolite gets taken out very low once again.
Has to pop the Featherstorm. Perkz and Mikyx finding the connections with those skill shots. These top lane tower already down to only a plate and a half left as well, and all of that is going over to Perkz. Prophet forced away by Wunder in a matchup that he should be winning, you have to feel. It's so good from Wunder so far with the Black Cleaver, and actually the Camille scales well. Right now the Gnar's in an okay position. I misspoke, I apologize, Ender. I saw you already ready to correct me. I corrected myself.
Good recovery. I'm glad you're self-aware right now, and Rogue are probably very aware that themselves are falling very far behind in this match. It's a 7,000 gold lead overall. It's a 3,500 difference between Perkz and Woolite, and now we've reached a position where Inspired feels like he must give some attention towards Woolite, but it's too little too late. It means Prophet now doesn't have the attention he needs to be able to push up in that side lane. So all in all, wait a second, they're trying to make something happen.
Caps being forced back in, Inspired on the chase, will get the impale. Teleport coming in from G2 as they look to take the fight. Wunder in from the side, there's the final spark on 2, and now the rest of the team is here to party. G2 don't just take one, they take as much as they can. For the moment, that's not any more kills, but they might look for the tower.
Yeah, Jankos is sitting on the side here. Plates will go down, so it makes it much easier for them to knock out. Right now, Rogue have pushes top lane and bottom lane, but G2 will be able to break open the map with this.
G2 don't even go for the tower here. Everyone is scattered to the winds.
They just want minions.
Wait, guys, there's a kill down towards the bottom lane. I know where we're going.
Yeah, just a big
Wunder.
minion.
Laser guided here. The TP out from Prophet. Not going to be stopped in time. Prophet escapes, gets back to his base.
That's the most unfortunate teleport I've ever seen.
It's a SOAS.
It's a SOAS. But man, right now all Rogue can do is stay alive, and that's not easy because at 14 minutes, it's an 8,000 gold lead for G2.
Yeah, and guess how much gold Perkz is sitting on in this top lane?
A lot.
He's got 3,500 gold in his back pocket. He already has an Essence Reaver.
he almost has half as much gold as the entire Rogue team has.
That is just disgusting. Wunder caught out here in the bottom side as VandeR looks for the knock-up. Inspired on the chase, doesn't have the impale, the flash away, will still get stunned up. There's the counter, the follow-up stun with a fracture. Here comes Prophet looking for the chase, but Wunder's dodging around. Eventually, Wunder will fall, but it took 3 members of Rogue to do it.
All right, you know, honestly, Rogue are doing a good job playing from behind of finding picks. This we must praise them on because that's all they're going to be getting in this one so far as they send 3 people down for that one. Now, mid lane, we see Caps already used the Shroud, which means that Larssen can make this play. And honestly, pretty disrespectful there from Caps. Without vision around him, he steps forward for some poke and then ends up paying the price for it.
Yeah, G2 do manage to get the kill onto Larssen in the end, though. As you can see, Mikyx once again landing a great light binding from the side. They don't take the tower, but they do just get the push here and force away the rest of Rogue. They just picked up the Rift Hold, so that's now sitting on Jankos. He'll look to use that probably in the middle lane to take down that mid lane tower, open up the map a little bit more, and 16 minutes in, this is looking like a classic G2 game.
The scariest part about this is usually it's between 15 and 20 minutes where G2 make the most of their gold.
Triple their gold lead between 15 and 20 minutes.
That's just ridiculous. They're obviously not going to be able to triple it in this game with a staggering 7,500 at the moment, but this is typically where they just continue to force fights at you, where they don't give you room to breathe, let alone think. And just looking at your map, you see the tendencies from that. You already have Caps inside the enemy jungle looking. When will Inspired or VandeR walk through here? Can he get the kill?
VandeR's just going to walk towards Caps, but I do want to bring attention to the levels here as well. And Caps level 11 already has that Mark II ultimate. Perkz is 11 as well, joint highest in the game, sitting at 2.5 completed items on this Sivir. And if anyone steps near him, he's just going to crit them to death.
It's not that bad. Woolite sells an Essence Reaver and a Punchy Glove.
Oh, good old Punchy Gloves. It's very difficult for Rogue to get back from this position. You do just have to praise G2, you know, at times, especially early on, Woolite and VandeR actually had their number in the lane, but as soon as Jankos came across, as soon as they started getting that snowball rolling, they were able to do what they've done so many times before and just shut their opposition out of the game. It was expected, but you still have to do it. We saw how much of a challenge these lower tier teams can be in the last game, where Fnatic fell so far behind to excel.
Yeah, I mean, the way to beat G2 is you must attack them in the early game, and I don't feel like Rogue went quite fast enough. Bot lane, they tried their best, but ultimately, they lost the war of attrition. G2 out CS. They did more damage to the turret plates, picked up more gold globally around the map, and now we're just doing a picture-perfect close as they go in.
Oh, Jankos with the slide and glide. Catches Woolite once again. Perkz steps forward, but Caps will take the kill. Rogue trying to defend their base, can't even defend their own lives. 2 more kills to Caps, that's a double for him.
Rogue's jungle belongs to G2 now. 4 members up top lane. They're going to get the turret. We're just at 18 minutes rather, as G2 look to speedrun another game.
Yep, this is exactly what they're doing right now, and Rogue have to find a way back into it. It's a very difficult task. Nigh on impossible, but they will be thinking about exactly how they can do something. Maybe a Baron throw, maybe a Baron fight from G2 where you just chuck everything at the wall and see what sticks.
I mean, the only thing left for Rogue is clear waves as long as you can. I heard something about, you know, CS win condition if your AD carry can get 500 or something like that. Azir obviously going to be looking towards 3 items before he can really come online, but G2 are not a team to give you much time to get to that late game. They just want to keep continuing to close out, and you see their vision so far pushed up in that enemy jungle. Rogue are going to have to do a good job of putting down deep vision if they want to try and have any idea where G2 are on the map.
So there's Cloud Drake about to come up. There's a Baron in 1.5 minutes as well. Those should be the next 2 objectives for G2. They don't need to break an inhibitor line yet because of that deep vision just allows them to take these objectives very easily. With Baron, it's a lot easier to take inhib, so you can just wait for that to come up and take it as soon as possible. Caps in a side lane is pretty much unstoppable. There's not really too much you can do about it, and Prophet still hasn't really scaled up on that Camille. No Trinity Force there yet. Should be
just picked that one up.
Oh, just got Trinity Force, so maybe has the advantage in the matchup versus Wunder.
Yeah, still though, without map pressure, it's very hard to turn an advantage, even in a 1v1, if that were to be the case, into any real tangible leads. You just can't chase someone down a lane for long enough without G2 being able to respond and punish you. Notice what G2 are doing. All 3 lanes now pressed forward as they split up 1-3-1 at the moment. Ultimately, they're going to be looking to play off of light bindings and ultimates coming out of Jankos. If they can land those crucial skills, they've got a whole lot of burst damage to try and get a pick and an objective to follow.
A big wave pushing in here as the second wave is about to join it. It looks like Wunder's just going to be left down in this bottom lane. Caps pushing in top. There's about an 80 CS lead for Perkz on this AD carry. Once again, his Sivir performance has been exemplary. And the rest of G2 just clearing out vision, pushing forward, and making it very easy for Wunder to push forward in this lane. Here comes Inspired onto Wunder, but Wunder hops the wall, and Inspired can't chase through terrain.
Meanwhile, top lane, Caps going in. There's 2 TPs and a kill.
Oh, the kill already in. Perkz takes it away from Caps' waiting arms. Wunder looks for the Gnar, but Larssen flashes away, and now the inhibitor tower falls. They don't even need a Baron. They just take it with the split push. That will be the inhibitor shot to follow, and G2 are just demolishing Rogue. There's not really much bottom team can do.
Yeah, I'm not sure about sending Woolite on the Xayah to match up against the Giga-fed Caps Akali. The inhibitor will go down just 20 minutes into the game. G2 have a mini wave up mid lane, pushed in, they land the binding, they get the damage on Inspired, and they're gonna try and knock down this turret.
That they are. Inhibitor tower gonna fall pretty quickly, and G2 could just look for the win here. Caps jumping in onto Inspired, goes straight into the Shroud, and already Inspired's dead before you can even land the Impale. The Stinger doesn't have much poison in it right now.
The best part is he landed the Impale, but the 5 talent strike still came out and knocked him down, so Caps gets the kill. Here we go!
This is so much more like the G2 we wanted to see. Yesterday against Fnatic, they were pinned back, but today they come out swinging. Nothing will stop them as they look for the kills on the Fountain, just forcing Rogue back. The Nexus Tower's not even in their eyes. Caps, hungry for blood, hungry for kills, gets his 5th of the game. Mikyx flashing forward, trying to catch him out on the Fountain. G2 so close to this win.
The death spawn, or the respawn timers are so short, Inspired's already back up. The damage still comes through though. G2, is this another picture-perfect fountain diving game? That's the only question I have left to ask, Medic.
Just waiting for the super minions to push in so they can take the Nexus Towers if they want. They'll take it, and then they'll look for the fountain. They're always hungry for kills if they can get them. Rogue waiting for the respawn of Woolite. He's up in 9. Prophet jumps onto the back line. It's only on towards Wunder, and Prophet is done for. Perkz with the crits, with the ricochets, just bouncing bullets off Rogue onto other members, and there's not really much this Rogue squadron can do. Inspired forced back onto the fountain. The rest of Rogue will shortly follow him, and G2 are looking for some more kills.
I think we're going on to the fountain. Wunder gets the Gnar, baby!
Wunder with the Gnar onto Inspired, who goes golden. Perkz is shut down, but now G2 may focus the Nexus instead. Caps trying to do what he can. The Nexus will fall, and G2 take their 5th win of the split.